Okay, to those of you watching, you're probably wondering why I have the things in the title that I have. Because it's key for future discussion and the future events that could be possibly taking place in my life. And if they don't occur, it's nice to prepare for them. Okay? But expelling and drafting. This is about expelling people and drafting new ones, hand picking a new community. If it were that simple, I wish it fucking was, or I would get on board with doing that right now. I'm going to try to make it reality the best I can. I'm going to expel, and then I'm going to draft a new group of people that could come to my shows. Until then, I don't want all this unsolicited nonsense talk going back and forth. I'm not even going to read half the comments anyway. As it is, I'm going to rant right now. I'm not even going to read the comments, so the chat is hidden. Um, but no, I went to a new community not long ago. I came across a new community not long ago, and a lot of it seems like it's trolls. And you know what? I will thrive off it if a whole new bunch of trolls come at me, because at least they're honest and open about what they're going to do, if that be the case. What if I'm to say you're all bullshit, and pizza of my mind is not even starting shit with me whatsoever, and it's just you people fucking telling me that he is, or virtually yelling at me. I saw no evidence whatsoever of that, like I said before, and all this is going to play a part in who I'm going to expel. There's some people have been long expelled from here, but you know the difference is I've expelled everyone pretty much except a handful of people, and the only reason why they're still around is because they can go other places and talk. That's it. I'd have nothing to do with them. If it were up to me, I would. If it was up to me, YouTube would have a block feature where you could never see those people ever again, where you wouldn't even be able to search them, kind of like what Twitter is. You block someone, they can't see your stuff anymore. You know how much I want YouTube to switch to that, because this is a crap website if it never switches to that. It needs to switch to that. Totally. This way it would cut half the garbage out. It would cut at least half the garbage out if we did that. It would make a huge difference. And I wouldn't have to see Anderson. I wouldn't have to see any of these fucking people running around here. When someone's account is at 10 subscribers, I think it's safe to say that you don't bring them back to life. You let them sit in their own community. And when they come around, don't even acknowledge them. Um, that's common sense, right? To do that. But no, everyone's got to bring them back to the dead and show up in their chats when they come back with only like 42 subscribers and blah, blah, blah. And I vow that every time I ever happen to see an Anderson Henderson fucking account running around that has 10 subscribers or even 2 subscribers, I'm not going to run and tell anybody about it. If I know, I don't tell no one. But then it turns out Noodles is fucking promoting him again. And I'm not having that. You want to go over there, you stay over there. There's no playing both sides with me and Anderson. No. I'm not having that. As it was, you were in my previous chat, you were talking about things I really didn't want to talk about for that video. And you were telling me that they bought like 10 guns when it was only like 2 or something. So you wanna do your thing over at Anderson's, fine, but don't expect me to be a part of it. Don't don't expect me to take part in his chats. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't expect me to go in on Craig either, because he's in the picture now. I'm not touching anything Anderson touches. So that's just it. Me and Anderson have an intense hatred for one another. It wasn't once as strong, but it is nonetheless. But this has been on my mind, so I have to discuss it briefly That's not what this discussion is going to be about most of the time. I'm just briefly bringing it up and on to business as usual. If I have to be the most hated person around here, I will. And I will say whatever gets me hated. I don't really care no more. I don't give two fucks. Because I hate you all, as far as I'm concerned. I hate you all. I'm just gonna say, I don't have to name names. All I have to say is I hate you all. That's it. Nothing but a nuisance. When I see that side chat, nothing but a nuisance. I had to cut it off for that very reason. I'm going back to the days where you could do rants and you didn't have to read the side chat. You didn't have to read the side chat. If someone liked what they see, they light you up. They would light you up and you wouldn't even have to read the chat. I wish I could bring that back too. Who says you have to interact with your chat all the time anyway if most of them are trolls? Who says you have to interact with them? You don't. That's just the rules that the bottom of YouTube or the drama community made up. But that wasn't how it was. I've seen so many people do rants and they never read their side chat and they still got tips and all that. You know? If that could be 100% reality for me, I would be much more comfortable like that. Honestly, I don't want to have to read what everyone has to say. I like to talk and keep going with my show, and that's it. So now about semen. It's going to be very brief, this thing about semen. I'm going to talk about how if it's healthy, you can eat it. You could fry it up like an egg, and you could eat it like egg whites. Okay, semen. If you have a healthy enough load of semen, you can fry it up, and you can eat it like egg whites. Okay? Yeah, you can. That is a thing. I mean, you might have to accumulate more of it to eat it as a breakfast, but you know what I'm saying for the most part. And that's going to go to my next thing that I'm going to say. Prison. Prison fantasies, okay? Prison fantasies. Um, okay, prison fantasies. Now, I do not refer to what I have as semen. Because of the mind, I'm a female, I'm not a male, I'm not mine. I refer to what I have as eggs. Okay? And my fantasy in prison is if I do something bad enough to go in there a long time, still coming out once I go in. I'm going to make that say for the record. I might not do something bad enough to get death, but I'll tell you something. I won't be coming out. I'll say that at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan my prison stay. I'm going to pre-plan it. For the day that I do go to prison, I'm going to literally, I know people don't talk about this, and I never talked about this, but I'm starting to talk about it now. So what does that say if I'm starting to talk about it? That maybe I'm getting serious and carrying something out. Mostly it would be for killing internet trolls. That's like the only thing I can think of that would get me a lifetime prison sentence. Would be to kill internet trolls. Literally. Just chop their heads off, literally. You know what? You want this side of me? You're going to get it every night. Now, you know, I'm going to talk about murdering internet trolls or whoever does me wrong. Funny is, I don't even have to name names right now, and you're all going to be pissed off because you know it's you that I'm talking about, isn't it? You got something hiding, don't you? You can't bring out to the surface. You can't let your intentions, you can't let yourself be known, you know? You gotta be anonymous all the time, right? So if I ever have to plan a prison stay, there's a good chance it's gonna be over internet trolls, alright? Male or female. I am 100% equal opportunity when going after people. And if anyone, they can't handle real equality is what it is. When they get it right in their face, they can't handle a real liberal like me actually threatening people and fucking. They can't. And liberals can't either. They turn right wing all of a sudden when they get in touch with me. It's kind of funny. They turn right wing automatically when they meet me. All these so-called moderate liberals. Yeah. These women supposedly who armed up and bought a lot of weapons because of the things that I said to such individual sometime back. Scared a lot of women in the community, apparently. Hmm? But what if that fantasy becomes real? What if I literally do this and end up in prison? My fantasy in prison would be to impregnate female prisoners, to impregnate female prisoners, have babies in the slammer, in the female slammer, you know, the female side of the prison. Mm-hmm. That's my fantasy. I'll go in there, I'll knock a lot of people up. That's one of my big fantasies right now, as of late. I'm going to talk about it. I might as well. And the kids can have a daycare. They have daycare in prison already, you know. They have like a care center in the prisons and stuff for children. In case people do get knocked up in there. I looked it up. I'm watching documentaries about how people go in prison. I've been watching some things. I watched the Ted Bundy movie like last night or the night before or something. And that was some crazy ass shit right there. I want to do that shit to the trolls. What he did to those women. You know? I want to do it to the internet trolls who are malicious. Who've been doing this shit for years out here. And they're finally gonna meet their maker when someone like me does come around and decides to take matters into their own hands because the police aren't going to do it, because the higher authorities are not going to do it. I'm talking bigger scale here. I'm not going to make all my live streams ranting at the trolls, but you know what I'm saying? We're talking big scale here. To get them scared, to get them shaken, that someone out there could potentially damage their lives in some major way. Because they only wish the worst on me, so I might as well wish the worst on them and try to take it to them too. Then they won't know what the fuck to do then, will they? And they won't know what the fuck to do then, will they? You tell the authorities about these people so many times and they don't do anything. So what if someone does decide to take it into their own hands and they're willing to risk prison for it at some point? I would love to say I killed a bunch of internet trolls. That would make a great story to get locked up for. That would be the best story to be locked up for. Because if you kill women, you're a scumbag. If you kill a bunch of women, you're a scumbag, like what Ted Bundy did. That was uncalled for. And you got John Wayne Gacy, you got all these other people, Dahmer, especially despicable. Um, but I would be the good person, actually. It would turn into a positive, actually. It being on the female side too, a double positive, because a lot of the women in there would not like trolls either. I'll tell you that. They would accept anything from me, even a baby, if that's what it took. So yeah, that is my fantasy. The day that I do get locked up, and it may not happen, but I'm preparing in case it does. It's better to have a plan thought out, even if it never happens. It's nice to think it up. So that's what I'm doing. That's literally what I'm doing. I want to go to female prison. But I've been keeping myself under control because I still have family that's still alive. And maybe I have a little something to do left. But if I run out of things, which that day could inevitably come, and I give up on life totally on this earth, or at least in the regular world, let's say that day does come. I don't care if it's 5 years, whatever. 3, 5, more. There may come a day where I just decide enough's enough. I'll just spend the rest of my years in prison. What's the use? What are you going to be, homeless? Is being homeless something to look forward to? And if you're even a reasonable person, you should think this way too. You should be thinking about how to get behind bars. If you got nothing else going for you, a lot of you trolls have nothing going for you. Just take an honest look at your pathetic fucking lives. And just say, wait a minute. If I'm doing it, you should be doing it. You should be saying, maybe I should go to prison if there is a chance I'm going to be homeless anyway. Any chance that you're going to be homeless, you start thinking about these things. And what if you do it sooner than you think? Because you are running out, or the clock is ticking. If I was Craig, I would do this. He's in the perfect position to do it, actually. Craig, you're in the perfect position, or the perfect time of your life to be doing something like this, really. If you want to do it, take a bunch of these trolls out and get locked up. If you don't see any hope, that's what I might do eventually. I mean, I'm even thinking about it. I've never been to prison in my life, ever. I have a clean criminal record. But I have a feeling when I go in there, it's going to be for a long time. There's no vacation. It's going to be a staycation. Okay? I'm not going to be like Anderson. I'm not going to be 2 weeks and then I'm going to be out. No. I'm going to prepare for the long haul. And I'm going to make babies in prison. That's what I'm going to do. If you're smart, you'll think about doing something like this too, maybe. Huh? Oh yeah, I'll be in the female prison. I'll plan it ahead of time so I can do that and get in there and then start doing that. Because that is a fantasy that I've had in some form. Well, there was one time I thought about getting an IV and doing it and impregnating people, women or whatever, and doing my shit or whatever. But this time it's trans in the women's prison. That's where the fantasy is now. It used to be when I identified as male more, to be in an IV, to drive around and impregnate women, but now the thing has changed. I'm thinking about doing it when I get locked up in prison. so, so that's it. And that's all. I mean, if I was some people who have such pathetic lives, you should consider it. I really think you should. Or if you keep being roped back into a game when you don't want to be part of a game, I don't want to be part of this at all. It's only addiction that keeps me coming back. And let's admit, I'm not a high earner. Obviously, I don't make a lot of money, or else I wouldn't be here. This place is for poor losers. Any of you who work that hang on here, you're bigger losers than us. Let's be real. Anyone with a job on here is a useless piece of shit. Which means they could be doing something, but they waste their time on here. With all the resources they could be putting toward, they could be spending more time off of here when they have a job. But no, you motherfuckers with jobs who come out here are some of the most pathetic people on here. That's just the fact. And even if I was at work and I was online, I would be pathetic. I would literally be pathetic if I have to constantly check messages when I'm supposed to be at work. That would make me 100% more pathetic. So a lot of you people with jobs out here are just, you're even worse losers than the people like Bergs. And a lot of you are women too. A lot of you are women. That's right. And I think you know who I'm talking about too, huh? Yeah, exactly. If you work a job and you have to come to a loser troll community like this, you are a fucking loser. I don't care who you are. I don't care if your name is Noodles. I don't care if your name is Craig. I don't care if your name is Jasmine. I don't care if your name is whoever. Joe Bob, Jabroni, who, I don't give a fuck. You're a fucking grade A loser. If you have a job and you're still on here, I don't know how much I have to spell this out. You're a bigger loser, because at least the people with no jobs have an excuse. You have no excuse. You have no excuse. You supposedly make enough for your own living to pay your rent, to do all this, to put your money toward other things. Personally, if it were me, I would be spending my time doing that. Not being somewhat pathetic, hanging around these people that you want to feel so much better than, when you ain't. You're just a pile of shit. Let's just face it. Carlos, I'll reference you, Carlos, big time on that one. Big time. At least really be banging up the system if you want to make a difference. At least get locked up and impregnate women like I want to fucking do if I feel I have no last resort. At least think about doing that. At least plan to stay in prison, even if you're never going to go. At least plan it. At least plan it in your head. By the way, anyone like my nails? Yeah. I just did them not long ago. Yesterday. I'm serious here. I'm really serious. Ouija look, what's going on? Finally checking the chat. I don't have too many people in here because they're scared. They're friggin' scared. They're afraid of what I'm talking about. Good, let them lurk. Let them. I don't care. Alright. So anyways, yeah. Imagine that though. Prison stay. I only get the best, and I will get what I want. I will be in female prison when it happens. I know there's people who want to watch that. They want to watch it all on tape for content, what my life in prison would be. I know there's people who would. Would it be worth getting rid of all these trolls? So it would be a normal documentary. It would be like a normal life. And whoever comments wouldn't be a troll, but they would just be kind of commenting on it, Just think of a troll-free existence on the internet, how wonderful it would be. No one would be made fun of anymore. No one would be laughed at anymore. Nobody would be misgendered anymore on purpose. It would be great if there were no trolls. It would be like heaven on earth. But if they see that I did that for the world, they might release me. They might even release me. They might say you only get a year in here. Maybe you get no time at all because you killed off a bunch of scumbags. These trolls are useless. We agree with you. The cops may even be saying that to me. We agree with you, really. Someone actually took it into their own hands to kill the trolls. Your sentence is reduced. Yeah. They would do it to me too. If I really did that for a reason. Well, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. And it's safer for me right now to at least say never with circumstances. And going to prison is one of those. I can never say never to it. You know? Even if it doesn't happen. Still. Never say never. Bye. Because it's going to end up being a safe place to be. Where the world gets crazy out here. And I'm predicting this right now. It's not nonsense. Prison's going to be a good place to be when this world gets crazy out here. Why do you think I'm planning for it like this? I could even try to get it and they may not even let me in. That's also another thing. I may try to get in, they may not let me, and they may look at me and say, hey, you didn't kill random women. You're not Ted Bundy. You're not Jeffrey Dahmer. You're not John Wayne Gacy. You're a serial killer of the trolls. So you're in a higher category. We don't need no use to arrest you. Or if we do, it won't be very long. It'll be reduced in half. So you'll get half your sentence. And a lot of respect in the prison from the get-go. Because I killed a lot of useless sons of bitches that didn't deserve to live anyway. So when you really look at it like that, prison ain't so bad, you know? And with the world getting crazier, it's not a bad idea to think about at least getting in there somehow. Even if you don't. Even if you don't. That's something you won't hear Anderson Henderson say. You'll never hear him say anything like this. He talks about prison in such a lame way because he idolizes all those fucking macho men, which I do not. That's not my angle at all. It never was. This fucking guy likes the guineas of the Italian community. He likes the guineas who are into all the gangster shit. That's not me. Never was me. It wasn't how I was brought up. If I get in, it's going to be legitimate. It's not even going to be mafia related when I get in there. So I'll tell you what, just stupid what that fucking whack job talks about all the time. All these crime bosses and all this shit and everything. That's just so yesteryear. Going forward, those people just should not be idolized, and that's the person who idolizes them. So if anyone wants to do business with him, I'm done with you. I can't work with you if you're going to be with him. Period. I'm not going to work with you. I'm done with you. If that's the case, I just can't. Nah. I'm not going up on any more shows over there. So I'm going to reach out to other communities and I'm going to draft my own community. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick people because I've expelled a lot of them already. And I have to redraft and pick who I want. That's really what it comes down to now. I have to pick who I got to pick to move forward here. And and all that. Hi, Joni. What's up? Go back to read what this is all about. Oh. That's another thing. If I forget who's who, I'll be taking wrenches too. No, my sound is not muffled, number one. I'm talking just fine out here. Okay? So if I don't know who you are and you keep confusing me, then. Well, which is it? If I have no idea who anyone is, I'm pulling wrenches. Okay? So explain to me now who you are or you'll lose your wrench. Okay? I'm not playing games with people anymore. I'm really ready to kick people out right now. I really am. So I'm giving you one chance right now to explain, or I'm taking your wrench right now. I don't know who you are. You're done. It's nothing. I would retire this channel. I really would, but something tells me not to every fucking time. This channel is like the biggest trap I've ever come into. This monetized channel. Ever since it's gotten monetized, I have not been able to get a new audience over here. I've been trying. I don't go all these other communities. I run into them if I'm lucky once in a while. But yeah, well, that's not good enough. I don't know who you are, dude. I gotta remove your moderator because I don't know you. All right, that's how it goes. Okay. No idea who the hell you are. I don't know how I wrenched you if you're not a regular in here. So I'm pulling you. No, I want to go very badly. You have no idea. Unless I can attract a whole new audience, I want to go. Totally. It's just stupid over here now. And obviously, since Anderson Henderson keeps coming back, it sucks even more. It sucks even more because he's a buzzkill. He's the biggest buzzkill down here. Besides Tasha, he's the biggest buzzkill down here. And for real. And as long as I don't have to be reminded of him all the time, I'm fine. But if I'm always reminded of him. You know, he's always mentioned. When he was a 10 sub channel, I forgot about him. And then, sure enough, he's brought back from the dead by fucking Noodles again. Fuck you, Noodles, with that shit. Christ, I hate your fucking obsession with Anderson. I fucking hate your obsession with him. You're queer for him is what it is. I'm telling you right now. It's nothing to do with him even. Because him all by himself, I can ignore him. But what I can't ignore is the people who keep bringing him back. That's what I can't friggin' ignore so easily. He would be a ghost on here if you didn't keep bringing him back. Well, he's like a 2-star channel. And say I happen to know about it, I'm not even going to comment. I'm not even going to act like I know. And then I'm going to leave. But then sure enough, every time I do that, someone brings him back from the dead. And then he's got 42 subscribers. Then he's got 100. Then he builds up. And then he closes that account when it's up to 300. The stupidest YouTuber I've ever witnessed on here. The fact that I've been around him all this time, too. Yeah, exactly, Ouija, but Noodles isn't going to listen to you. You realize he's not going to listen to you or me. He'll appear agreeable, but he's not going to listen to you or me on this. That's just the thing. He's got to go. He's got to fucking go, or else we go. It's that simple. He'll lose other people over this. I'm sure there's other people that are saying, Christ, he brings him back. He's brought him back now. Great. Now the cycle's just repeating itself over and over and over and over and over again. Right, okay. But anything but that or Michelle K. It's like, come on. Michelle, low energy Michelle. Promoting Michelle K and Anderson Henderson, it's like the same thing to me. It's like promoting the same people. It's stupid. Like these people are irrelevant. Stop bringing them back. I hope John comes back for real. I actually kind of miss when John Camillo would call me a weirdo, even sometimes, and he would talk to someone. I even want John Camillo to come back at this friggin' point. I'll tell you right now. Yeah, he's not promoting content. Yeah, well, zombies. I don't know what I think about him. I think he's, I think he's better than Michelle K and Anderson, but I think that might have been his best pick if you're gonna compare out of those three. Probably zombies would be my pick too. Out of those friggin' three. But even zombies too. How much can you watch of that if he keeps bringing them on there? But no, I'm fine with that. But it's mostly Anderson and Michelle K. Those two, yeah, done. Done as far as I'm concerned. Totally done. Hey, do you agree that things were moving along very nicely when Anderson was locked up? Things were moving fast. Beefs were changing. Like if I got into a beef with someone, I never got into a beef with them before. It was like evolution took place in a good way. It was really like evolution took place in a good way with that knuckle dragger out of here. I'm telling you, that's what it was like. Um, Even if zombies did come along, still. But one thing I notice is things still want to seem to move forward, whether Anderson's here or not. The internet is phasing Anderson Henderson out, whether he likes it or not. And Noodles is always the one responsible for bringing him back, and then everyone else goes over there, and they go right back to suck his dick again and again and again. And the cycle never stops. That's why I would only take a position in the Boyd as far as being a gatekeeper of the Boyd if it meant that I would let all these people in to drown it out. And I would end the Boyd, and then they would be ended too, and then this whole place would be quiet eventually. That's my fantasy. That's one of my top fantasies. People have been removed from my circle, not by my choice, but maybe it's for the better. I don't know how then, if it wasn't by your choice. Things were moving in the right direction with Anderson gone. I wish I could highlight that comment because it certainly was. But people are not going to take me serious because my name's Melton John and nobody wants to listen to me, even though I know what the fuck I'm talking about around here. They don't want to listen to me, then I don't participate. Plain and simple. You're not going to get my services anymore. Period. So everything's going to be about talking about prison and it's going to be other communities. That's it. I'm going to get these other people to my channel. I don't care what it takes. You refuse to give those terms. That's right. You're right, Ouija Loke. That's right. And I'm concerned that Noodles will only mention me when he's got nobody else. He doesn't have Anderson, he'll mention me, but that's about it. But every time he comes back, and not even that I want to be mentioned all the time either, I would rather not, but it's just how everything was done around him. He should have just left and not come back. He had an opportunity to leave this community again, even the people in his circles that he probably doesn't need to have around him either. And they just followed him right back. Once Noodles put the word out that he's back, they came running back over to him again. That's what my problem is with that. But he would have hid if he was smart, or he would have went to another community altogether. If I lost my account here, you think that I would be running around the void? It's only because I have this account. That's it. That's what's keeping me. I have to lose this account, probably, for me to not even come up around here no more. Because I'm not going to build another channel over here again. I mean, this is the big baby that I have right here. And once this goes, that's going to be it. I wouldn't be returning to the community. But like I said, I wish YouTube had a feature where you could block people and just never see them again, and they'd never see you again, like Twitter has, like Facebook has. I would push totally for that, but YouTube doesn't seem to want to do that. You know, I'm heavily in favor of that, though. Heavily. That's why they should make me president of the website. I think that I could do a lot of good things if they just put me as the president of YouTube or something like that. I need to be in some position of authority because I would get everything done, you know. Anderson should have went to the prison community, but it looks like it's going to be me going to the prison community before him, because I'm going to talk about my fantasies in prison. That's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to get into the prison community, Luigi. What do you think about that? Because I'm going to talk about my prison fantasies. If I don't bore myself talking about them, that is. But I won't bore myself talking about things I've talked about in regards to prison, at least not so fast. I can talk about it, then I can get some people over here. We can discuss female prison at least. We can discuss all that shit, you know. I made a legal name change if that's what I need to do to get into the female side of the prison. I'm going to start impregnating women in there. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a daycare in the prison. They already have daycares in prisons already. I've already covered all that. And shit. I mean, hey, whatever at this point. I mean, hey. See, Anderson idolizes prison for the heavily masculine reasons. I idolize it for the more feminine reasons. You know, if I was going to. Anderson looks up to all these skinhead types who are in prison and all that. And that's the shit he'll talk about. But the prison topics that I would talk about are not like what he talks about. For sure. And again, it's just nice to talk about, because you never know when that day could come when you are going to prison. If it will happen or if it won't happen. But you gotta at least ponder it. Even talk it out if that's what you feel you need to do. So, that's really it, and that's all. Hey, North Sac Maniac, what's going on? I'll give him a wrench. I'll give you a wrench there. North Sac Maniac is now a moderator for this channel. Okay, good. So yeah. This is the time I like to come on, though. You know, I like to come and talk when it's like this a little bit more. And stuff like that. I don't desire to discuss a lot of the things that were like discussed earlier in my other chat in here. Um, I notice the trolls are hiding now. Because they know that I could be devising up a plan to deal with you, since the cops aren't going to deal with the lot of you. Huh? When it ever comes that time again where I get going, I got to get a little more money and I can travel more. I'm going to freaking, I'm going to do it, believe me. Or at least definitely put it in the forefront of my thoughts. If I feel that's going to be the time to make a splash, then I'm going to do it. Here, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to go all in. I'm just going to do what I got to do. My future isn't secure. And that's why I feel like I have to plan for prison. Even if I don't 100% get in there. You know what I mean? I see all the shit some people are saying or whatever. And I see that certain other people are trying to make a comeback too. It's only because people give them a platform why they're able to do it. Because I don't give them one. So the other people are doing it. You know, to the others. Everyone has seen the example time and time again how I run my channel is really how to run things around here. But nobody seems to want to do that. Except maybe for Bombshell Reloaded. She seems to do that fine. But she's got like a circus in her side chat too, though. So... But anyways, I'm going to end this. I think I'm done talking. I think it pretty much summed up what I want to do, possibly. What my fantasies are and what could come to life or what maybe might not even come to life. But it's nice to prepare and to think about it. Because you just don't know where the world's going. If it gets so crazy that I'm like, okay, I'd rather be locked up than have to deal with this world, then that's what I'm going to do. Guaranteed 3 meals a day at least. You know? So, hey. Alright. I'll talk to y'all later. Good night.